You are born in 15th century Seville. Your house stands alone without any neighbors. On the day you were born, nobody came to congratulate your parents. But that doesn't concern you yet, because at this moment, you are just a boy in a house at the end of a street. But life is good. You've got food and parents that care about you, even if they aren't always available. Your father comes home tired once in a while. He always looks distant on those days. Your mother tells you not to bother him as she serves dinner. You don't have any siblings. You don't ask why. You spend most of your days inside, watching the street from the window like it is a painting you haven't figured out yet. On Tuesdays, your mother takes you to the market. You like it. The noise, the smell of bread, the pigeons fighting over nothing. But you notice she carries a small stick when she shops. You carry one too, because she hands it to you at the door without explanation. You are 6 before you notice that nobody else carries one. You look around the market, really look, and see hands touching fruit, hands lifting cloth, and hands pressing bread to check for softness. Bare hands, all of them. You look at your stick. You look at your mother's stick. You want to ask why only the 2 of you have to use a stick, but your mother's face is the kind of face that says, no questions. So you carry the stick and say nothing. But the stick is just a minor inconvenience. The other children are what hurts the most. You hear them from the yard, laughing, running, and playing a game you don't know the rules to. Your mother never lets you go. No explanation, just no. Every time. You turn 8 years old and are tired of the window. You slip out of the house while your mother is busy. You walk to where the noise is and just stand there at the edge of it. And in a few minutes, they let you in. Someone throws you the ball. You throw it back. Soon you're all laughing and playing together. But as the sun starts to set, a woman comes to collect her son. She sees you and her face immediately turns ugly. She picks up a stick and hits you with it. Not hard enough to break anything, just hard enough to mean it. You stumble back and ask, why? Your voice sounds very small. She tells you that your blood is cursed, that anyone who touches you carries the bad luck home, that you should know better than to come here. She then berates the other kids for playing with you. They don't argue with her. Instead, they start to shout words at you like stones. One kid throws an actual stone. So you run. You cry the whole way home. Your mother is already outside when you arrive. She sees the cut on your arm and the state of your face. She asks what happened. You tell her, and she goes completely still. She takes you inside, cleans the cut, but says nothing. That night, your father comes home, and something happens between your parents in the kitchen. Their voices stay low, but the walls are thin. You hear phrases like, he's too young, and he has to know. You hear your mother crying. Then your father opens the door to where you are lying in the dark pretending to sleep. He tells you to rest, that tomorrow you are going with him to work. You don't know what that means yet, but the way he says it tells you that you're not going to like it. You wake up the next morning to your father's tap. He doesn't say good morning. He just sits at the edge of your bed and speaks to you the way men speak to other men, quietly and without decoration. He tells you what he does. He says he works for the city, for the crown's courts and the magistrate's orders. He says that when a judge decides a man must be hurt, broken, or hanged, it is his hands that do it. He also mentions that it's legal work, necessary work, that someone has to do it, and the city decided a long time ago that it would be men like him, men like you. You then ask why the woman hit you. He is quiet for a moment. Then he explains that people fear what they need, that the city cannot function without him, but also cannot stomach looking at him either. So they keep your family at the edge of things. It is at that moment, the market stick, your house being at the end of the street, and the children who aren't allowed to play with you all make sense. You want to cry, but you don't. Something about the way he says it makes crying feel like the wrong response. He also mentions the church, the Inquisitions, men who persecute people they believe are not pious enough for the church, how he also works with them. He mentions that priests and inquisitors are forbidden, under their own god, from shedding blood, so all dirty deeds fall on him. That morning, he takes you with him to the tribunal. The room is underground. Stone floor, low ceiling, one torch. There is already a man in the chair when you arrive. His hands are bound to a device with a pulley. An inquisitor sits above, reading Latin from a document in the flat voice of a man reading a shopping list. And you know he's the one, because he puts on a scowl immediately when your father walks in. A secretary sits beside him with a quill while a doctor stands in the corner looking at the wall. He asks your father why he's bringing a child here. Your father replies that you're beginning your apprenticeship. The inquisitor gasps and proceeds to cross himself. Immediately after, your father gets to work. He moves to the rope tied to the accused hands. He pulls the pulley upward. He does it the way he fixes the fence, the way he passes the salt at dinner, like it is simply the next thing. You see the man's arms go behind his back. You see the rope go tight as the man goes up. Then there is a pop. Immediately, the world around you blurs. You wake up on the stone floor. Your father is standing over you, not unkindly. He tells you to get up. The session is still going. You get up, and this time, you watch. You hear the man beg, hear him deny. You even hear him curse. You wonder what heinous crime he had committed. After the session, the man is taken back to the dungeons. On the way home, you ask your father what the man did to deserve that. Your father says nothing. You stop asking. Your education continues for the next few years. Your father does not teach with comfort. He teaches with repetition and correction, and the flat expectation that you will eventually stop reacting like the body in the chair is something other than a problem requiring a solution. He introduces the strappato first. That was the device he used the first time. Wrists bound behind the back, lifted by pulley to the ceiling, dropped sharply. Not to the floor, never to the floor. Just far enough that the shoulder screams without the body dying. You learn the difference by feel, by the sound, and also the way the rope behaves at different weights. Then there's the toca. A cloth is pushed past the lips into the throat. Then a jug of water is poured slowly. This convinces the body that it is drowning. Your father shows how to angle the head properly, the importance of pace. Too fast and the prisoner panics past usefulness. Too slow and the inquisitor grows impatient. He tells you that there's a rhythm to it. There's also the potro, or the rack. It's a ladder-like device with rollers at both ends. Ropes from the rollers are wound around the limbs and tightened in increments. This one takes the longest to learn, because the margin is the narrowest. Too little, and the man says nothing. Too much, and you have ruined the confession by ruining the confessor. The doctor in the corner is not there for mercy. His job is to keep the prisoner alive long enough to be useful. And then, there's the wheel. A punishment reserved for the worst of it. It works by tying a condemned to a large spoked wheel, then methodically breaking their bones with an iron bar, limb by limb, until the body gives out. You vomit 10 more times in the first year. Your father waits every time, then continues. By the time you turn 12, you've stopped fainting or vomiting. You have learned to put your eyes somewhere neutral during a session. Not at the face, never at the face. You look at the rope, the angle, the hands, anything to deny you that it is a human you're inflicting pain on. The years in the tribunal have taken the light away from your eyes. You don't know when it happened. You just know it's not coming back. Years pass, and your father dies. His heart just stopped beating. No last words, no dramatic final lesson. He was old when he had you. It had not been easy to find a woman willing to marry into the profession. And by the time you became a teenager, he already looked like a man who had been used thoroughly. You bury him at the edge of the churchyard. Not inside. Men like your father don't get inside. You've just turned 15, and you are now Seville's new civil torturer and executioner. The city cannot wait for your grief. After all, grief is a luxury for people the city actually mourns. Your first year is mostly secular work. Work for the kingdom's court. A thief hanged in the plaza. A crooked forger branded at the wrist with the iron mark that will follow him everywhere he goes for the rest of his life. A murderer broken on the wheel outside the eastern gate. The crowds always come. You learn to work like they aren't there. Then, in your second year, the Inquisitor's messenger knocks. The church needs you. Your first tribunal session is a converso merchant. Conversos are Jews who converted to Christianity, some willingly, most under threat of expulsion or death. The only issue is that the Inquisition's primary obsession is proving that their conversion was false, that they are still Jews practicing the old faith behind closed doors. The evidence against this man is that he lights candles on Friday evenings. In Jewish tradition, candles are lit at sundown on Friday to begin the Sabbath. This is his crime, and you can't believe it. You watch the Inquisitor present it like he just caught a serial killer. Then you look at the man in the chair. He looks like someone's father. He probably is. Still, you go to work. You apply the strappado. Lift, drop, shoulder pop. Lift, drop, repeat. You've learned how to work on autopilot. Soon he confesses to lighting candles. You don't pay it any mind. Even you'd confess to anything if you tortured yourself. The secretary writes it down. The Inquisitor nods slowly, satisfied. You know that confession was the only right answer. You untie the merchant. You don't apologize. It was never your fault. When you get home that night, you light a candle and hope today is Friday. But inflicting pain isn't the only thing you do. The truth is executions and tribunal sessions do not fill a week. You spend the rest of your time doing everything the city needs done that no respectable man will do. You collect dead animals from the streets before they decay. Sometimes they already smell so bad that you learn to breathe through your mouth. You also manage the leper tax at the South Gate, which means you are now associated with lepers in the public imagination, which is impressive honestly, given where you started, as you also clear the leper cesspit when the contracted gong farmer refuses. He always refuses. But your little way of showing defiance is that you charge extra. They always pay it. You also oversee the city's prostitutes. You collect their quarterly tribute while making sure the arrangement stays orderly. This is also where you meet Catalina. You have been collecting the prostitute tax at the southern quarter for 2 years. Her mother runs the house. You come every quarter, conduct your business, and leave. Professional. Then one evening, Catalina opens the door instead. She looks at you the way nobody looks at you, like you are simply a man standing at a door. Just a woman looking at a man. You come back the following week, and this time it's not for the tax. By 25, you are married. By 27, your son is born. You are still summoned by the Inquisition, but you are, against all logic, thriving. The city still won't let you touch the produce, but it needs you more than it has ever needed you. And somewhere in that contradiction, you're happy. Years pass and you turn 31. Your son is 5 and still believes his father does something ordinary. You let him believe it. Catalina, on the other hand, knows everything. You talk about it sometimes, late at night when your son is asleep. She asks if you believe in what you do. You tell her you believe in what your father did, staying alive, keeping the family fed, and showing up when the letter arrived. That night, your mind revisits the day the townspeople rejected you as a kid, the day they called your blood cursed. Yes, you deserved it. After all, you have tortured a woman for owning a book, a man for failing to eat pork in front of witnesses, a 17-year-old girl for weeping at her brother's arrest. But here's what you've never done. You have never pointed at a single person, never filed a denunciation, never decided on your own authority that someone deserved pain. Every person who has ever sat in your chair arrived there already decided upon, already signed, already processed through men in clean robes who will not sit near you in public. They summon you. use your hands, then look past you afterward like your presence offends their god. You think about this with a coldness that has long replaced your innocence. Later that night, you dream of the tribunal, except this time, you're torturing every inquisitor and priest you know. 10 years pass as you continue to bleed strangers on their behalf. You are 41 now. Catalina is dead. Smallpox got her. The town says she deserved it. Your son is all that's left, but he's only 15, the same age you took over from your father. Your hands shake now, a small tremor that started last winter and has been getting worse since spring. You don't tell anyone. You just grip harder and hope the sessions are short. One day you're summoned for work. The boy in the chair is 15, maybe 16. The Inquisitor and his assistant argue the age briefly in the corner the way men argue about the weather, casually. Age has never stopped them from getting what they need. His crime when read out is failure to denounce his mother. The Inquisition runs on informants, neighbors, friends, spouses, children. Everyone is expected to report behavior that suggests secret heresy, so failure to report it itself is a crime. The boy's neighbors claim he knew his mother prayed 5 times a day in a language that wasn't Latin. That's his crime, not snitching on his mom. And as much as you feel sorry for him, you still have a job to do. But as you look back at the boy, it's your son that stares back. Not literally, but for some reason you can only see your son in the boy. You close your eyes and shake your head to clear your mind. You believe it's just one of those days. And when you open your eyes, you still see your son. You hesitate. The Inquisitor notices. He asks why you haven't started. You tell him that you aren't feeling too well and ask if the session can be postponed. He pauses and looks you in the eye. Then he asks a question. Do you want to be in that chair? You know he means it. Immediately you take a deep breath and face the boy. For the next 2 hours you do your job with tears streaming down your face. And every time you close your eyes, it gets worse. Your hands also shake so much that by the time he confesses, he's a mangled mess. That night you walk home through Seville's evening streets. The city is loud, warm, but completely indifferent. You see people eating, arguing, or laughing at something. A priest passes you and looks through you like you are part of the wall. And somewhere between the tribunal steps and your empty house, you understand exactly what your role in this machine is. It never needed you to believe in it. It just needed you to show up. When you get home, your son is at the table. You cross the room and put your arms around him. He is surprised and doesn't know what to do with his hands. You don't explain. You just hold on. That night, after he is asleep, you sit in the dark and think, my son will never do this. You believe yourself for a while. Then reality hits. You ask yourself, which trades or what city will accept him? Your blood is strictly monitored. They'll never let him leave when they know you're old. The city does not offer alternatives to men like you. It is then that you think about the boy in the chair today. The boy who just loved his mother and kept quiet about it. A boy who is guilty of loving someone like you love your son. Immediately, you think about Catalina's question. Do you believe in what you do? This time you have an answer. You don't believe in it. You even hate everyone that makes you do it. And you hate them even more because they'll make your son do the same. That night, you curse the city, the church, the Inquisitors. You even curse your father for not finding another way. Then you stop and start crying. Through this all, you don't notice the last member of your family standing in a corner watching you. It doesn't console you. It doesn't jeer at you either. It has no interest in your grief or your anger or the argument you just lost. It is simply waiting, the way it has always waited, in your father's house, in your house, and it'll do the same in your son's house.